Join me as I dive into the wild world of news and pit Trump against Kamala using reports from Fox, BBC, ABC, and even AI. Let's see who comes out on top. Trump and Kamala Harris, two figures who couldn't be more different in their styles and messages. One a firebrand, the other a policy wonk. One who thrives on controversy, the other who seeks consensus. And yet, both have had a profound influence on the current events that shape our world. The challenge we face in navigating the news landscape is the biased narratives that threaten to distort our understanding of these figures. We're constantly bombarded with competing claims and counterclaims, each vying for our attention and allegiance. The truth, it seems, is whatever we choose to believe. But what happens when we step back and examine the sources of these narratives? Do we find objectivity, or do we find ideology masquerading as fact? The media outlets we trust to inform us are often accused of having their own agendas, their own biases. Fox, for example, is often seen as a champion of conservative values, while the BBC is perceived as having a more centrist or even liberal bent. And then there's ABC, which tries to walk the tightrope of neutrality in a hyper-partisan age. But how do these perspectives shape our understanding of Trump and Kamala? Do they amplify their differences, or do they reveal deeper truths about their policies and personalities? Take Trump, for instance. Fox News has been accused of being a loyal mouthpiece for the Trump administration, downplaying controversies and amplifying his achievements. BBC News, on the other hand, has been critical of Trump's policies, particularly on issues like climate change and immigration. ABC News has tried to take a more balanced approach, but even they can't escape the accusation of bias. And what about Kamala Harris? How do these outlets cover her, and do they apply the same scrutiny to her policies and actions? One pivotal moment that encapsulates the divide between Trump and Kamala is their responses to the Black Lives Matter movement. Trump's supporters see him as a champion of law and order, while his critics accuse him of stoking racial tensions. Kamala Harris, on the other hand, has been an outspoken advocate for police reform and racial justice. Fox News has given extensive coverage to Trump's views, while the BBC has highlighted Harris's policy proposals. ABC News has featured debating panels that pit both perspectives against each other. But who gets to define the narrative, and who gets left behind? As we navigate this complex web of media narratives, it's essential to remember that critical viewing is key. We must be aware of the sources of our information, and we must be willing to question the assumptions that underlie them. Only then can we hope to make informed decisions about the leaders who shape our world. So, what do you think? Who do you think comes out on top in the battle for media supremacy, Trump or Kamala? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to suggest which political figure you'd like to see discussed next.